Hello, Acumen Fellows. Mike Rosenthal here at the Center for Creative Leadership in Greensboro, North Carolina. I hope you all are having a wonderful mid-year week together, sharing successes and I'm sure some frustrations along the way. Folks at CCL have asked me to do a short videotape here to remind you of some of the issues around coaching and why. My understanding is from talking to Sue and Zippy and David that a lot of you have had tremendous successes over the first 5 or 6 months here of the program. We've also heard about some frustrations. Most of the frustrations have to do with dealing with other people, either our bosses or our peers or our subordinates. And that gives us a wonderful opportunity to go back and use some of the coaching techniques, because often we're in a position where we don't have authority and we need to be able to influence some of these folks to resolve whatever the issue might be. So just a couple of reminders around the issue of coaching. First of all, you'll remember from our training 2 models. One is SBI, situation, behavior, and impact. It's a great way when you're dealing with other folks to provide feedback that's really grounded and helpful and talks about the impact of certain behaviors on you, so you own it. So remember the SBI model. The second model is around coaching, and that is the ACS model, assessment, challenge, and support. Remember, it's all done in relationship, and the process of coaching really involves assessing what is the issue we want to resolve. Challenging involves brainstorming around some solutions, and then offering some support to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve, the ultimate goal. So that's sort of the models around coaching. I tend to simplify things, and I think the easiest way to look at coaching is both philosophically and practically, and what does it involve. So philosophically, I think our approach to coaching is founded on a belief that the resolution of whatever the issue is lays with the individual that you are coaching, so that an individual owns the answer to their own concerns or issues. So if you guys get together during the course of this week and you talk about your successes and you talk about the things that may be frustrating you in your current roles, it's really tempting for us to go in there and say, well, you ought to do this, or you should do this, or consider doing this, to give advice, because we all have opinions and so on and so forth. That's not coaching. So if you really wanted to practice coaching this week, you would go in and you would ask a lot of questions based on the belief that by good questioning, that individual will come up with their own solution to whatever the issue is that they're facing. And you might say, why? Why do you want them to come up with their own solution? And I think the fact is, if they do come up with their own solution, number one, it's probably the right solution for them. And number two, they're bought into it because it was their idea. So the more we can ask questions and do coaching from that perspective, that they're going to come up with the right answer, I think the more effective we will be. So the process of coaching, I think, is very simple. It really focuses around the use of questions. And as you may recall, the best questions are those open-ended questions, the whats, the hows. It's not so good to start a question with the word do, because typically if that happens, it is a closed-ended question. So we want to ask open-ended questions. We want to probe more. We want to brainstorm around solutions. We want to talk about specific follow-up actions that we want to take. If we're coaching with someone and they come up with a solution, you want to ground it in time and place, and when can we do this? How can we do this? What do you need to do this? It's a little bit of goal setting at the end of a coaching session. So I know you all will do well with this. I think it can be very helpful if you want to exert some influence on folks and resolve some issues. So go back, review the notes you might have taken on coaching, go back and make a difference in your job, and we really appreciate what you're doing out there, and you ought to be proud of your accomplishments. Take care, and a special note to Nicole, Heidi, and Suraj, I'll be in touch. Bye.